All right, now we're live. It's kind of awkward because it was live for a couple minutes, even though nobody's in here. So I don't think anybody's in here. Um, there's the chat. It's going to be an awkward couple minutes when it began. If you watch this after the live, but I have a small editing project that I want to do, and I figured I would do it live to show you guys. So let's see. Share my screen. Screen one. You know what? We're going to go back. I'm actually going to share a window instead of the screen. Can I do that? There we go. Perfect. Now I'm nice and small. Let me go find my files. What I did, let's see. I posted a rowing video today. And in the rowing video, hey Jeff, I had 2 camera angles. I think it was 2. And I just did another rowing workout tonight where I'm going to do 3 camera angles. I'm going to put the back view, the front view, and then I also have a camera facing the rower computer reader so that you can see kind of my progress and stuff. So I'm going to edit that live. It should be really easy to edit, and I can talk to you guys. So let me get my stuff set up. And it's kind of neat because this will give me an opportunity to show you a different program that I use when I'm editing sometimes. I got a window covering the chat for the moment. There we go. What's up, 556? I can't remember if I knew you were retired or not, but for some reason I definitely knew there was some cop in there from your comments. Let's see. Yeah, my evening's been going pretty good. My wife and kids. Oh, this is Old Forester 1920, by the way, with a large ice cube. I have a little bit every night. 30 years is enough for you. I don't know if I'm going to make it 30 years, to be completely honest. We will see. But my night tonight, my wife and kids are out of the house. They went to the in-laws for a couple of days. And what day is it? It's Saturday. I decided to I said in my video earlier today that I was going to take the month of April and do nothing but row. My goal is to row 10,000 meters a day, 4 days a week. That's going to be a combination of things. I'm not just going to row straight 10,000 meters every single time. It's going to be like some intervals, some warm up and cool down, all that kind of stuff. One of the things I want to do is I wanted to record a 5K row test so I can see what my 5K time is at the beginning of the month and then see what my 5K time is at the end of the month. So in order to do that, I had to get a good recording of my 5K. That's what I did today, and that's what we're going to be editing. Let's see, so I can put this up here. I'm going to move this guy. And I've got this cool program that will actually sync up all of the recordings for me. It's not really a program. It's like an addition to Premiere Pro. All right. And since I didn't have anything to really go live about, and I figured I was going to be editing, I figured I would just do this live. It worked last time. And until I start having like topics, I think this is what we're going to do for a little while. Let's see. Extensions, pluralize. So I click this, and this should take all three camera views and stack them on top of each other so that they're all synced up. It's pretty cool. Hey, TJ, what is the PT test? What does it entail? Like, I know there's some that are more detailed than others. The one that I took when I got hired, there was two PT tests. The first one, we did like the written test and everything, and then we would get invited in to do a PT test, and it was like the initial weed out test. You had to do like 20 sit-ups, 20 push-ups, and you had to run 300 meters in a time, like 45 or 53 seconds or something like that. Um, it was really easy, but one thing that was quite remarkable was the number of people who showed up and couldn't do that. I was out of shape. I'd been out of the military for a long time, hadn't been working out. And I remember watching this kid who was probably about 10 years younger than me laying on the floor, struggling to do one sit up. And I couldn't believe it. So it was crazy. And I always forget. I think I can how edit the chat delay, but I don't know how to do that. So I have to like if I ask you guys a question, I have to wait a while for an answer. Oh, there you go. Oh, that's very similar to what I did. So you have to do a 1.5 mile run also. That's something that's some of the departments are doing now that they didn't used to do. Um, I'm glad they didn't do it when I did it because I took the test on a whim. I wasn't like planning on becoming a police officer. I just had some guys kind of talk me into going and take the test. So I tested and I did 90 band and I hadn't gotten myself in shape. I had actually been avoiding being in shape because when I got out of the military, I was kind of done with that life. I had made well, I hadn't made a decision, but I was just kind of rebelling against against life, for lack of a better term. And I don't know, I let myself get fat and I didn't care, and I hadn't been working out. So when I went and took my PT test to just to get to the next phase, I'm glad it was just like the 300-meter run, um, because I couldn't have run a mile and a half at the time. By the time the academy started, I was fine. I was like, hey, I'm serious about this. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get in shape. But man, I had allowed myself to get out of shape. When I got out of the army at 185 pounds, and I started the police academy at 238 pounds. If that gives you any kind of idea of the mindset that I was in when I started this process. Thoughts on a Glock 45? Do I have a favorite Glock? I carry a Glock 19 off duty. Um, I have this conversation with people a lot. People ask me like, what kind of gun to get? I don't know. I just carry a Glock. It's easy. It's simple. It's always going to work. I really don't care. I'm not out target shooting. If I ever need to use it, it's going to do what it needs to do. It's a 9mm that I carry. I like carrying 9mm. My thinking on that is I can get more rounds on target in a quicker period of time than I can with a 45, and I have more rounds in the mag in case in case I miss, or in case I'm in a prolonged firefight of any sorts, because I don't carry extra mags. All right, let's see if this is gonna work. Pluralize only found one track. Well, that's not right. Let me see. Maybe I did this wrong. 1 second. I can never remember how this program works. And I'm not going to embarrass myself by going online and watching a tutorial. Oh, there it is. Sweet. Yeah, I'm not good at this live stuff. Cooper, you're at Columbus State's Academy right now, so you're getting your OPATA without having a job, with hopes of getting a job. Any advice? For what? For passing the test? I don't know. Study. for getting a job afterwards, everybody's hiring. And like depending on what department you go to, you're gonna have to go through a pod again. So let's see. I know you missed the donuts videos, but I'm not eating donuts right now. All right. This is synced. I'm gonna close that. All right, so now what we have, I'm gonna get back to editing because I have to. So I have 3 camera angles, and they're all synced up based on the audio. So now let's see. This one, I go up to effects controls, go to scale. Why didn't that change? Ah, there we go. So this one is going to go up here, and I'm going to crop it. This one's actually kind of a neat video for you guys to watch because I'm doing some cool stuff that took me a while to learn how to do editing. Oh, and you get to see my super organized garage. That's probably good right there. And then I'm going to copy that. So you can copy the formatting and paste it to the next clip. Let's see. Ah, hi from Hocking County. It's good to see more Ohio people here. All right. So this one, I tried to label my video files. Can you guys see these? Probably can't read them very well. Top one is the GoPro. That's one I had in front of me. The clock. Oh no. The clock view. I put the same video in twice. Oh, that's going to suck. All right, let me change the size of this one. I did. Oh. All right. I put the wrong video in. I'm blaming it on you guys. Review. All right. Now we're going to do the whole pluralize thing again. Window extensions pluralize. All right. Now it's syncing it up. Who's here? Tiger Lily, I saw your chicken comment, I think. Yeah, I went to Chick-fil-A tonight. Does that count? My workout was rowing. Let's see, is this working? There we go. That's working now. Yeah, I might ban you from the channel for talking about that state up north. Not a fan. I graduated from Ohio State. My life's goal from the time that I was a little child was to go to Ohio State simply so that I could get football tickets. And I did that. My Chick-fil-A order was a market salad with apple cider vinegar dressing. Is that what it's called? And instead of getting double chicken, which I have been doing, I just got a chicken sandwich on the side because for some reason when you go to Chick-fil-A and you order double chicken, they get confused. And it costs like the same amount. It's like $14 for a salad with double chicken. So I just got a sandwich. I need the bun anyway. I need the carbs. All right. Now, sync complete. All right. You know what I got to do? All right. Well, that's good view. I'm gonna find the beginning. For those of you who have not been here, I have 3 camera angles and I sync them all up and we're about to do a row. I make funny faces. This is it's one of those things that I probably shouldn't have done live. All right, let me clip these because you guys are getting to see all the crap that I don't normally let people see. All right, now we're going back to fixing the size. Go to effects. There's shortcuts for this stuff, but I haven't taken the time to learn them. So I do it this way. How long have I been rowing? I've been kind of rowing for about 6 years because the reason I bought the rower was when we had our second child, I bought it for my wife because she felt like she needed some help losing baby weight. And I got it for her because it was something that she could do at home. And I thought it would be helpful. The funny thing is, I have used it a lot more than she has, but she doesn't get mad at me for it. And actually, I think she likes getting the pictures that I take after I row. I'm glad somebody likes the workouts. They're not getting a ton of views, but I don't care. Um, I'm gonna keep doing them because I like doing them, and I'm kind of documenting just kind of stuff for my own whatever, because I think it's interesting. All right, so there's that. Now for this, we're gonna blur. Gaussian blur. All right. Like how the sun is glistening through my hairy shoulders in this view. Is that hot? I'm glad you like the pancakes. I love that pancake recipe. I didn't actually get to eat pancakes this morning because I woke up 45 minutes late for work and I had to iron a shirt. So I ironed a shirt and then I ate 3 eggs and a piece of toast and I threw on my uniform and I went to work. Really threw off my schedule. I'm like really cranky if I'm not on my schedule. I don't know how many other people are like this, but I schedule my days down to the minute. And when I don't get up on time, or if something happens that throws off my schedule, I lose my mind. Oh no. Did I do this again? Oh, okay. Whew. All right. Let's see. I'm going to take this over to here. This is the YouTube magic. Mask 1. This is how it makes it look like you have a clean garage. Now I got to adjust these other two. let me see. I want to go up a little bit. Some of those topics are a little bit hot. Many years ago, police work. Oh, cool. Yeah, there's always a contingent that goes. I've never gone to police week. I don't like being around crowds of people. Um, did you learn the edit? I learned how to edit videos for YouTube by watching YouTube videos on how to edit videos for YouTube. Um, I've kind of told the story before, but when I first started doing YouTube, I really didn't know what I was doing. Um, like when you go to like when you finish editing a video, which I can show you later, I thought you went up here to save and like save as and save the video. I would do that and then I would go to the folder where I saved the video and it wouldn't be there. And I had to go on YouTube and I found out that you don't do that. You have to go down here to export the video. And when you export it, you can set your if it's 1080p, 720, 4K, and all that other kind of stuff. I can show you that in a little bit. But yeah, I learned how to do all of this stuff um, by watching YouTube videos. It was quite tedious. But now that I kind of know what I'm doing a little bit, it's fun. And videos like the one I'm doing right now, I really enjoy. Because it kind of it's more than basic. I don't know. I like doing it. It's fun. Oh, hey, Tiger Lily, thanks for coming. Sorry it's late night. I don't know. Let's see. Reynolds, I find out about body camera videos through a large variety of ways. Some of the stuff is in the media. Some of the stuff my friends tell me about. Some of the stuff I hear about over the air. And some of it, the dispatchers will like send me a text, stuff like that. So let's see. That might be it now. Ooh, you know what? I have to figure out how to edit the sound because when this thing plays a video, it does something to my mic and it distorts it. Um, but I unfortunately have to screw with the sound here. I want to use this soundtrack. You guys probably can't see it very well, but this one that's focused on the clock right here. Um, this is the one that's right here, right next to my head, and I want to use the audio from that. So I'm going to go to this audio track. I'm going to make it negative 50 decibels. I'm going to go to this audio track, make it negative 50 decibels. And this one too. For those of you who don't have GoPros, if you record a long video on GoPro, it breaks it up into segments based on how it saves files. So my main camera, I have a full 20 minutes with both of my DSLR cameras. My GoPro, it divides it up into two. So you have to be kind of careful with that. Let's see. How many are watching? Can someone tell me? Oh, it says up here 17. I don't imagine Saturday night is like a popular streaming night. I personally would probably not be watching on Saturday night. But I figure it's good practice, so I have a Garmin watch. Oh, that's what I have to do. I have a Garmin watch, and when I was just screwing with my watch right there, that was me. I forgot to set my watch, so I was doing my first couple strokes, and I was like, "Oh shoot, I got to do my watch." And I want to put that on here. What I'll do is I'll do it towards the end. So I don't know. You know what? I will figure that out later. All right. You know what? That is kind of good enough because I recorded something at the end. I definitely should not be doing this one live. Um, Here's what I'll do. Move that. Put my intro on here. Bring that down, and then I'll put my outro on. Do that. When she made the intro and outro for me, I don't even know if it's in 720. That's why it's so small on the screen. Because this is in 4K, so the screen's like way bigger. So this guy looks way smaller, but I just click this, adjust the frame size. Now that's the same size. So what I will do, it took me about 20 minutes to do the workout. So here is what I'll do is I'll kill everything and I'll do like a little intro that says, hey, I did a workout. And then I'll cut to this. I'll click this little transition. You know what I'll do? I'll probably just start with that and I'll adjust this guy because you don't need to see that well. And I'll record another video and I'll put it in this block right here. That'll be my intro. So I'll talk for 5 minutes or something while I'm rowing and I'll explain kind of what everything is. I'll explain what this little box is because this says I'm doing a 5,000 meter row. This 0 up here, which is not a 0 right now. This is a 20. That's like my stroke count. This is my pace per 500. This is my expected finish time. I'll do like an intro where I'll talk about all that stuff and I'll put it in here and I'll mute the sound up until that point. And then after I'm done talking, I'll make the sound go live and then you'll just be watching me row. And then when it gets to the end, I'll figure out what I'm going to do with this little part. See, I'll give you guys a taste. I was really exhausted. Then I started talking. It's cringy. That's enough of that. Let's see. Have I missed anything? Do I like the GoPro? I don't really like the GoPro, but I have it, so I'm going to utilize it. I'm glad you like it, 556. That's weird to say. Can I call you 223? Is that weird? Let's see. Have I ever thought about having a goatee or beard? I had a beard years ago when I was overseas. I might pull up some pictures sometime and show you what I look like with a beard. I had goatees for short periods of time. I don't really like goatees anymore. And I really don't like beards on cops. So that it is what it is. People can disagree. I've got friends that now have beards because on my department we're allowed to have beards, but I don't really care for them. I like the mustache, so I'm going to keep the mustache. Let's see. Douglas, what the world are you talking about? Let's see. We had a cookout with my... How did this topic start? You guys are goofy. Let's see. Did I start way up somewhere? Oh. I don't know. I can't keep track of this stuff. I'm horrible at this live. I don't really care if there's a difference between 223 and 56. They're the same to me. It's funny because when you're a cop and you're someone that's been in the military for a long time, like me, people want to ask you all about guns and like what to buy and all the other stuff. And I'm like the worst person in the world because the gun that I use is the gun that you put in my hand. Like I knew how to use guns and stuff when I was in the military. I've fired a lot of different, I don't know, I've trained. And then different jobs that I've had, I've carried Glocks, I've carried obviously a Beretta in the Army, I've carried different Smith and Wessons, I've carried 40s, 45s, 9s, machine guns, everything in the world. I don't really care. Like as long as it works, that's all I care about. So when people ask me about the minutia, the tiny little things about guns, like I was at the gas station today, and oh the one guy that works at the gas station, I only see him on like Saturdays now. He works third shift, but he works during the days on Saturdays. And I stopped in, and he's goofy. I don't even know how he got talking about it, but he's like, "I'm gonna go buy a gun." So I just told him, I was like, "Don't go buy a freaking High Point." I know he doesn't really have a lot of money, but I told him like, just without getting into it too much, like don't spend less than like 400 and 450 bucks on a handgun. And he's like, well, I'm thinking about getting a revolver. I was like, well, you might find a good deal, but whatever. And then the other guy comes over to me. He's like, hey, do you know anything about 1911s? Have you ever heard of that kind of gun? I was like, yeah, there's a lot of different kinds of 1911s, and you can get them for 200 bucks. You can get them for $2,000. I've got one. You know what? I'm going to show you guys my 1911. I'll be right back. Oh. All right. So, what's up, Tyson? I got done editing my video really quick, and now I'm just kind of BSing. So, I was talking about guns, and somebody today was asking me if I knew anything about 1911s. I have one. This is a 1911 by Nighthawk. It was custom made. There's only 50 of this particular gun ever made. This is when I worked for Blackwater. Our call sign was Templar, and then we had 22 teams, I think, at the time. So they made Templar 0. I think I have to start with 0-1 through Templar. Well, we had 20 teams, so Templar 1 through Templar 20. But this gun, we had 50 of them made. So there was Templar 0-1 through Templar 50. The team that I was on was Templar 12. So I got serial number 12. See if I can get. Is the camera going to show? There it is. Can you see it? Right here. So we actually had custom serial numbers. And then on the slide, or on the pistol grip, can you see that? That's the Templar Knight. And then on the slide, they put the Christian Shield. And on the other side, they put their name. Can't see it, but Nighthawk Arms. This is a good one. The weird thing about 1911s, just making sure I'm not missing too much. Yeah, I worked for Blackwater for a couple years. I made a video about it, but it was one of my early videos, so people probably didn't watch it. When you're talking about 1911s, people ask me, hey, should I get a 1911? I tell them it's a good gun. It's going to fire. They're great for target shooting. They're kind of heavy. This is a heavy ass gun. I wouldn't recommend them for carry, and I wouldn't recommend them if you need it to be sitting somewhere where you can get to it close, like quickly, because it does have a safety. It's like a butterfly safety, but it's really easy to manipulate. And I personally think that kids would probably be able to turn that safety off. And there's no double action, it's single action only. So if there's a round in the chamber, the hammer's going to be back. There's no mag. So if the hammer's back and this has a very, very light trigger. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend that a lot of people get 1911s, but it's a nice gun to own. It's kind of my take on that. Jeff, thank you very much. Again, I don't do, especially not right now. I'm going to do, I want to do some live streams for money later, like with that being my main focus. Some of them are going to be for me, but I also have some people who I would like to raise money for. Particularly, let's see, I'll go back to this. And I saw the one question about Berettas. I'll get to that. Sock Puppet Master. She did not charge me for this, and she made it specifically for me. It was really nice of her. I'm going to do a live stream at some point, hopefully to raise a little bit of money to send her way for all the stuff that she does, which is really cool. I've spoken to her on a few occasions. I'm not going to get into the details of what she does, but I would like to get her some money. So one day I'm going to do a live stream for her. I might even find a way to do it with her. That'd be fun. Kind of like a podcast. So let's see. Unfortunately, 223 Media knows more about firearms than I do, because I told you I just kind of carry them. I'm just doing that to trigger you, because if you're retired, nobody fucks with you anymore, and that's gonna be my job. Hope you appreciate it. As far as Berettas go, I don't own one, but I want one. I want the M9 or whatever the 92 or something like that. The kind of civilian version of what I carried in the Army. They're fun. They're good guns. It's not something I would carry. Not at least not the M9 variant. That's like a single action, double action. I don't really care for that. If I'm carrying something, I'd rather just carry like a regular Glock or the new Smith and Wessons, or the Springfield XDs. Like, those are good carry guns. I wouldn't carry a Beretta that way. Yeah, 92 FS. That's what it is. I haven't looked at them for a long time because they're kind of pricey. And when I can get a Glock with my discount for like $375, it's hard for me to go out and spend that kind of money on a gun right now. I've got a Beretta shotgun that's threaded for it's a deer slug barrel. That wasn't cheap. I've got a bow that wasn't cheap, but my guns, I don't know. I don't really buy expensive guns. Because the guns for me, I use them. I'm going to go out and shoot them. This one, we even had a special mahogany box made for it. I've got it in there, and they gave us like 6 mags with it. I've probably put close to 1,000 rounds through this gun, and with the box, it cost me $2,500, and that was in 2005. So even though I spent money on it, I still shoot it. But most of my guns are for shooting, not collecting, so I don't really spend a ton of money on them. Let's see. Hey, Nurse Rachel. It's good to see you here. I've been seeing you in the comments a lot lately. Let's see. After you did the video with the Darren shot himself in the leg, I cited against it. Yeah, a Derringer with 410 in it, and if that was in your pocket and went off, you'd have a very, very bad day. I'm of the belief that, I don't know how we got into this topic, but this is the advice I give people when they ask me about guns. Get a gun that you can actually shoot if you have to. That's why I carry a Glock 19. It's a full-size gun. Like, if I needed it, I could draw that gun and I could have a good grip on it and I could get some rounds off. and defend myself. A Derringer that's just in your pocket, it's like having a pocket knife. Like, it's hard. I don't know. I have a hard time believing that you can defend yourself with that. That would be a good offensive weapon if you were going to do bad things. But for defense, no. There's a lot of good guns for women. For people with small hands in general. And I know a lot of guys that carry subcompacts. Is it the Glock 43? Let me pull up my Google machine here. Oh, I got too many windows open. Go over here because you guys can't see it. I think it's the Glock. Yeah, the Glock 43 is like a small one. They also make who was it that makes the Smith and Wesson oh shoot. Well, I keep wanting to call it like a sidekick or something, but Smith and Wesson makes some good ones too. Yeah, the Glock 17 is also a good one. I just like the slightly smaller Glock 19. See. Yeah, the shield. God, you guys are smart. I well, I bought a shield for my wife a couple years ago. And after I bought it, I stopped caring about what it was called. It's just her gun. So it is what it is. What else is on the menu? Let me go into my email here. I got about 15 more minutes before I'm going to call it. There's a couple of stories that are a little bit wild. Talk about the cell phone gun. I've seen pictures. That's good enough for me. You know, the best training you can get, Rachel, is just to go out and shoot. Don't be, oh man. I emailed a story to myself. I'll show you guys. Oh, hang on. Let me change this. Stop sharing. Share. Share screen. Share window. This one. I emailed a story to myself and it worked on my phone, but on my computer I have ad blocker and I don't want to turn off ad blocker for the benefit of this webpage. Let me close this. See if I can find another way. I have 2 dogs. Those are my pets. Those are the only pets I have. But they keep me busy. For you guys remember I have not pulled over anyone for window tint violations, but we have a tint meter on my precinct and we've used it and I think it can be useful. I like using window tint as probable cause. So I'll stop you for a window tint, bring the meter up, test your windows, and then find out, yes, your windows are too dark. Then we can have the traffic stop. A lot of times that leads to somebody without a license, and then we can pull them out of the car. That means we're going to impound the car. We got to search the car. When we search the car, we find guns, dope, dead bodies in the trunk, and all that kind of stuff. So I like having window tint laws for that kind of purpose. As far as charging someone for window tint, no, I'm probably not going to do it unless you're a real asshole and um and it's really, really bad. I've seen some window tint that is pretty incredible. See you later, Doug. All right, this one. I was thinking about doing a video on this. I haven't read the article yet today, but I just saw the story today. And to be honest, I'm baffled. Do you guys remember this video when it came out? It was something about, I think it was like a custody exchange. There was a dude and his wife, and she had a baby dad and she had kids. Baby dad came over to do a custody exchange. They had some kind of dispute. And then this guy here with the black jacket on and the and the gun came out. They argued. The baby dad in the teal jacket kind of moved forward towards the guy with the gun. The guy with the gun shot him and killed him. And I thought that was clearly not a case of self-defense from watching the video. And I just saw yesterday um, that he's not going to be charged unless it's an April Fool's joke. So I'm looking forward to looking into this a little bit more, watching the video. Do you guys remember the story? That was one of the things I wanted to talk about. Angie remembers. Let me see here. It's really hard to continue talking while reading comments, and I'm really low on whiskey. Oh. Well, Vicky, if you're 62 and you've never been pulled over, you've been driving entirely too safe. Let's see. Yeah, I thought this guy was going to be charged for sure. Let me see. We can go down a little bit. Texas man who was seen on video shooting his, oh, it wasn't wife, girlfriend's ex-husband to death during a custody fight will not be charged. Man. Included several eyewitnesses from the family. And unfortunately, I can't show the video right now because then this whole live stream will get age restricted. And a lot of people can't watch age restricted videos because they don't log into their YouTube account. So I will do a special video on that. And if I can, I'll have a guest. I'm going to take a stab at recording with, special guest. We're going to record Tuesday night. The goal, and we're going to do it over actually this program. It's going to be like remote. And the goal is that we're going to talk about like 3 or 4 topics, and then I'm going to edit the topics down into individual videos and put them out. That will save me a lot of time as far as my editing and coming up with topics. And it'll be nice because it won't just be me talking. So we might talk about this story. Brian, you asked if I've ever been pulled over. I've been pulled over a lot of times. Do I want to get into that? It's kind of funny. Here, I'll talk about being pulled over. Which pulled over story do I want to tell? The funny thing is, after becoming a police officer, every time I've been pulled over, I was in uniform, either on my way to or on my way home from work. So that's been kind of funny. But prior to a police officer or being a police officer, let's see. I can tell you, no, I can't tell you that because that'll out me a little bit. I don't know. I'm not going to go into that right now. But yeah, I've been pulled over a bunch. And that was one of the things I had to answer for when I was in the process to become a police officer. One of the things you have to do is go through an oral board. I don't remember all of the. You got banned from Facebook reading the video? No. You got like totally banned from Facebook? I've been in Facebook jail. I've never been banned. But yeah, I don't remember all the phases to the hiring process. I'm like the worst cop in the world to ask about the hiring process. I know that I took a test, and then I had to take a PT test, and then I took a polygraph, and then I had to do a stress test where they put like a tube in your mouth, plug your nose, make you run on a treadmill. My background check, polygraph. Then after all of that, you go to an oral board, and they have like 3 officers sitting in front of you. You're sitting with your back to the wall, and they got like a bright light in your face, and they're kind of interviewing you. And their goal is to get you unsettled. It's one of the tests just to kind of test your mettle. I think of it as like if you were being grilled on the stand by a defense attorney in court, that you're like if you got charges against somebody and the defense attorney is trying to pick you apart, that's kind of what the oral board is. So they ask you a bunch of questions trying to kind of get at you, trying to get you upset, trying to get you to trip over your words, trying to see if you're consistent with your stories, that kind of thing. And one of the things that they asked me about was my traffic ticket record. Because I had a lot of tickets when I was like from 18 to 24. I was in the military. I had motorcycles. I was all over the place. I got a ticket in Columbus on Route 315 doing 87 in a 65 on my motorcycle, and I wasn't even on the freeway yet. I was on the ramp. Um, I lived at Olentangy Commons, and I hit the ramp, and I wanted to see if I get the bike leaned all the way down. The only way to get the bike to lean is to go fast. There was nobody in front of me, so I went ahead and laid into the throttle, and I was getting the bike leaning as hard as I could. I was like 80 some miles an hour on that ramp, the Cloverleaf, heading out on the freeway, and there was a freeway officer sitting right there with his radar. So you have to answer for all that when you're in your oral boards. And there was a large gap between when I did all that stuff and when I applied to be a police officer. So I just said, yeah, I was younger back then. And if they tried to follow up, I was like, no, I don't drive fast anymore. And basically just shut down their ability to ask me questions that would make me nervous. So there's that. Does it stress us? Like, let me see. I saw somebody. I don't have a bike anymore, Brian. Hey, Donna Mitchell. It's good to see you here. You're a regular commenter. You've been for a very long time. I appreciate you. Let's see. Yeah, it's kind of like a stress test, Abby. It was funny. They're just trying to trip you up. And that's what people on the street will do to you too. Like you'll start asking them a question because you're trying to figure out what's going on. And you'll start saying, hey, I need to know this. I need this. And you'll start pushing them down a certain direction. A lot of times people realize that they're about to get caught up in whatever they said they're doing. So they'll try to distract you, and you have to kind of remember to get back on task. And I remember during my oral boards, that was one thing I was actually really proud of myself for the way I answered the question, because they asked me, what do you do when your family's angry with you, or how do you handle conflict when you're with your family? And it was funny because my wife will attest to this. It took her years to get over this, and I probably don't do it as bad now. But when she would get angry at me, I would laugh at her because when you're a couple, the things that people get angry with each other about are so trivial. It's especially when you're a young, new couple. You don't have like any baggage yet. There's no real reason for you guys to be mad at each other. And she would get mad over the silliest things, and I would laugh at her, and she would get so mad that I would laugh at her. And we would talk afterwards, but it is what it is. So they asked me, what do I do? How do I deal with conflict in my family? And I told them, I was like, honestly, I don't really do anything. I kind of just laugh. And they went down a road, and then one of the guys who hadn't spoken yet goes, oh, so you're saying that if you were out on the street and someone got in your face and did something, you wouldn't do anything? And I looked at him, I said, no, that's not the question you asked me at all. You asked me how I deal with conflict in my family. If I was out on the street and I had to deal with conflict, I would deal with it in a very different way. And they all kind of like looked at each other. They're like, that wasn't a bad answer. And they just kind of moved on. The people that it's funny because cops are like sharks in that sense that we can sense when you're starting to kind of feel uncomfortable and you don't like where things are going, and that, I don't know, we can see it coming like a mile away. So when we see that stuff coming, we'll start to just dig in and start to pry and like pick at it. And it's funny. Like sometimes I'll just sit and talk to someone for no reason other than just to make them feel uncomfortable, because I know that they're out doing something that they shouldn't be doing, and I don't have anything on them. So I will just keep either asking questions that are irrelevant or poking at them or bringing up like stupid things just to kind of get under their skin, and make them uncomfortable. And it's hilarious when you can accomplish that. So Yeah, those are my thoughts on that. Uh 223, did you see the video I made about the arrest I made in my backyard? Um, I was in uniform, and it was a good thing I was in uniform. So I wear my uniform home. Oh, and Brian, as far as bikes, I had a Suzuki GSXR 600. That was my first bike. It was a 2001. And then a couple years later, I had a 750. That bike got stolen. Um, and then, no, the 600 got stolen. 750, I sold and I bought a Harley because the whole getting pulled over on the ramp thing got me a reckless op ticket, which I was able to go to court and get that handled. Um, but after getting a ticket for reckless op, I decided to get a Harley. So I had a Harley when I met my wife. And then I realized after I graduated college, I was gonna have to be a grown up and I wasn't gonna have time to ride my bike. So I sold it. So I don't have a bike right now. And I don't regret that because I don't have time to ride. So I don't have time to ride because my free time is spent talking to you guys, which is fine. I shouldn't have said it that way. I enjoy this. That's funny. Prometheus. I can't help when I see your name, I think of the Aliens movie where they drank the serum or whatever and then they like exploded. I'm sorry. That's what I think about. I'm weird. Yeah, Jeff, I'm gonna screw with him forever. Um, but in all honesty, 556, send me an email. I want to talk to you offline. Let's see. It is 3 minutes to my bedtime. I think there's like a 30-second delay. So any last questions or things that you guys want to see me make a video about in the near future? Um, I'll take a moment to talk about my Discord server. If you go into the description of my videos, there's a link to my Discord. If you don't know what Discord is, it's an app, download it. It's just a chat app. That way, if you want to talk to me or you want to talk to all the people who are on this live stream, you can go in there and you can post messages. There's also a section for topics that you'd like me to cover in the future. And there might be some other sections coming soon. I don't know. I have people that kind of are handling that for me. They're doing it for free, which is awesome. They just happen to hop in there and we talked for a while and I trusted them. I'm letting them take control of that. So the Discord server is like the best place to get a hold of me, either that or email. And if you can't find my email, get on the Discord server. Good night, Sarah Liz. I'm glad you were able to make it. Yeah, I think everyone's just cool, having a good night. So 28 of you. I'm glad that you got to hang out. I hope you enjoyed watching me my editing a little bit. Um, I couldn't really finish the editing process because there's some stuff that I really need to just kind of listen to and fine tune and tweak. Um, and that's too tedious to do during a live stream. So I'll finish this video up tomorrow after work. I'll come home from work, have a sandwich, spend 10-15 minutes on the computer, and then I'll go up and hang out with my family. This video doesn't have to be finished for like 2 weeks because I've already got next Friday's video up. But anyway, that's how I do things. I'm always a week in advance. So when you're watching the video, often that's another funny thing. When a video goes live at either 5:30 in the morning or 3 in the afternoon, often I forget what video I had scheduled. So it's new to me too. And I usually watch them the same time you guys are. Well, I watch them when they go live while I'm eating my breakfast. That's why they go live at 5:30 in the morning. So a little tidbit for you. Anyway, not to make this a long drawn out goodbye, I'm going to turn off the camera now. Thank you all for showing up. I hope you enjoyed my unannounced live stream. We'll do more soon whenever I find time. And hopefully I'll be able to announce them so that more people can show up and hang out. Anyway, I'll see you later.